Hello, Master Monster here. I'm here with Exoprimal. I put up a video that got a decent amount of views, I believe, about
Hello,
a
I'm
month ago or
Sandy, your
so,
IBS support
saying that the game was
android.
better than I thought it was going to be. I honestly downloaded it because it came out on a Game Pass. It's a new game, and I just wanted to try it out and thought, I'd play it with my friend a few times, and then I kept playing it, and I kept playing it, and it's a good game, surprisingly. It is a live service game. It does have a battle pass. Shocker. No one's ever surprised by a battle pass. There are games coming out now
Despite my synthetic
that
name.
I think don't need a battle pass. They just have battle passes in them. Like I was watching a video yesterday and I was just like, I was surprised to find out that fucking like the Crash game had a battle pass, and then like some
I've
other
worked
game had
messing
a
with
battle pass.
machines
Like
since I
Diablo
was a
4. Like
kid.
why does Diablo 4 have a battle pass, guys? Like what is going on? Like Diablo, I played Diablo 3. Yeah, I played Diablo 3, and I liked the game mostly because I played it with my brother. But like, that's beside the point. I don't care about battle passes. Also, it's a little
Get
convoluted.
over
And I'll get to this
yourself.
one. Um, but yeah, this pass thing though, it's I could care less about it. I don't care about it at all. That's completely false. I just don't. But outside of the battle pass, which thankfully has something for people max it out and stay free. But I mean, look at those blank tiers with nothing in them. Like look at that. Look at that. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 things with the free. And it fucking sucks. Why do free passes feel like you get nothing? Oh yeah, that's right, because buy our battle pass. Buy our timed battle pass and then grind our game for some of the stuff you don't even want. But that's just me just not liking battle passes in general, and ignore it because everything else about this game is actually pretty fucking solid. So yeah, you have a lot of awards, commendation style stuff to show off on your. You can show off 3 of them on your characters. Some of them character specific. Some of them are status specific, which usually is character specific, but not always. Like you can get the shock. There's a shock acolyte in here that you can get, and you mostly get it with Witch Doctor, which I play a lot of. But you can also get it by just using a tool that shocks enemies, the little like Beyblade thing. They changed the way the exceptional feats look and stuff since the game is released, and this game is not old at all. It's only been out a few months. So yeah, looks like they gave a face haul to some of the awards. That's nice. Even that's cool. And then they added all of these like a few days ago, I think, or like a week ago.
Yeah.
All
I
these are
don't mind
just
the work. Keeps my mind off
other
the rest of these.
there are other things, and I think they didn't add a new rig. I was hoping they'd add a new rig, but these new not warframes, exosuits. Sorry, it was a different game. I don't even like that game. I did play it though. But yeah. So they added a different like unlockable things to the character. Although I'm actually really confused. Can I use all my old ones? No, I cannot. They added new common ones? What? Basically reduce the rate at which overhealing depletes. Okay. Safeguard, so it reduces damage taken from critical hits. Nice. Sanguine. Defeating enemies repairs exosuit health. Amount repaired varies according to enemy type. Small dinosaurs do not grant this effect. Okay. So just the medium dinosaurs, probably useful in higher levels. Repair allies for initial 100 health when recalling them? Oh, okay, so it's for rezzing. Actually, that's kind of sick for people who can get rezzes off. Okay, so they added 3 new common ones. Did they do anything with this? This one's still shit. I don't think they probably changed any of these other ones. Still 30%. They should get percentages on some of these, but like, they're adding new content to this game, which is nice. This is a PvE game. I probably should have said that earlier. But this is strictly a PvE game. And so far we only have the Savage Gauntlet, which is like a challenge mode that kind of on launch was weak and might still be that way. But the first Savage Gauntlet was the only one I played, and it was kind of weak. But that's okay. Take a look at these new exosuits. I think they just changed the weapons though, which is a little weird. That they just give them new perks and a new weapon and call it that. So hopefully they're not rushing out anything. The PvP in this game is very light. It's very much not a thing until like the last section of the game. So you can try them all out here. I want to try this guy out. You can change your rig models and stuff. This game itself is pretty it's pretty solid. As far as like PvE shooter games are concerned, like the only thing really in comparison is Splatoon. Okay, yeah, the ultimates and stuff remain the same. Probably just pulled out all the guns. Very anime move. Yeah, they don't change anything for the guns. Oh, he gets like a mid-range shotgun. Turns up in more of a mid-range powerhouse. To be fair, his gun that he did use. Oh, that damage fall off. It's heavy. There's a lot of shells that stick to the outside of this burst. Interesting. So he gets like a combat shotgun.
Disengaging.
So it changes up basically their primary weapon and that's it, and they get some new passive perks they get to place the character unlocked. This guy seems like he's gonna be really different. Okay, everything else is the same. Except now he gets ranged chakrams. What is the range on this? Let me... It does not go past 30 feet. Does it go 20 feet? Five-ish.
1-1, heads up.
6. Why is this inconsistent? Something about the right throw box is further, and that feels bad. So for a consistent sake, 25-meter range throwable projectile, which is better than getting up in someone's face. And he throws 2 at the end. Does the 2 do extra damage? It does do extra damage, but not double. Just a little bit. Alright. New barrage is interesting, because what do you do to a character with a grenade launcher to give him a different primary fire? He looks very cyberpunk, you know? Oh, they just gave him an RPG. I shouldn't be surprised if they just give him rocket launcher. Hold on, I forgot I have... Alright. Interesting. So he goes from grenade launcher to rocket launcher, that makes some sense. What do you give the sniper rifle? Sniper lady, what does she get?
Move fast. Shoot faster.
A shorter range weapon, which is nice. So she shoots off a loaded round. Oh, I get it. Every couple of shots, it just a boosted thing. She still has ice.
You're mine.
And she still has her Gauss shot. Does it make... It does allow her to get more shots off of their movement ability.
Power shot. Overdrive ready. Battle
What does
breaker.
overdrive do on her? It gives her an old weapon? Oh, that's wild. That's so wild that her because the overdrive was based on her old weapon. It just gives her an old fucking weapon. So how do you change a guy whose deal is punching? What the fuck? You give him a wrist-mounted shotgun? So they did a lot of shotguns to the game. So this is like the third character with a shotgun.
Nothing gets through this, baby.
Oh, he actually just sets the shield down, which is very different. Oh, and then he can just... Oh, his shield acts as one too. What the hell? See, now that's some change right there. They actually changed him up quite a bit. Can you boost them into his wall? I wonder. I think most mounts are like, nope. They changed him the most. At least that's what it seems like.
Got it, pal.
Because I heard leading up to this that they were going to change some of the abilities up, but then like so far none of the abilities except his has changed.
Initiated.
Why is he speaking like that now? They gave him a railgun? Is it a junk cannon? Interesting. So instead of making him a spam cannon, they made him a precision weapon shooter. I mean, he had the dome shield. Not sure how I feel about this.
Koenigin.
He still can't use his abilities while flying, which I think is dumb. It sucks when they give a character a hover and they don't make it do anything. What has confused me the most about the alpha, because I tried this a little bit off stream. What is this? What does he do? Does it change the targeting on the dolls? Like, for the most part, this deal is the same. He still hacks and slat. He still parries, unless he changed up how his parry works. And he still does that. Like, what is the difference with this guy? It was his counter they changed. They didn't change his weapon, they changed his counter. Does it still buff him? I think it does. Interesting. So they changed his counter. I've already tried Wish Doctor and Skyweave is another one they've changed. I think most significantly, other than like how weapon fires. Unlike the rocket launcher dude, I feel like she had a biggest change. So she gets these like lightning strikes now. And this feels more appropriate rather than just balls that she launches. She still, I mean, her AO, she still was doing AoE stuff. Wait, is she not even a? Can she not heal with her? Is she really feeling the abilities? Oh, she just completely loses healing. She's less of a support and more of a harassing DPS. I wouldn't even say she's a DPS. I mean, dude, 200 damage actually. The heck? That's nasty. Skyweave is nasty. Skyweave is why is that's a thing. It's like they have the hardcore healer in form of Witch Doctor. And then she was kind of a hardcore healer. I thought so. But then you have this one and the other one, the alpha version. Like this one was a DPS before this as well. She can't quick swap on this mode though. Which is what I don't get is why they didn't bother changing up her spread fire. She's spread firing shotguns. I mean, I know the ability pulls out like other bullshit, but still one of the most OP displacement shits. I like her. I like that they give her shotguns. It kind of makes sense. But some of the other ones, I don't know. Like the main guys that these things are modeled after, they kind of already were he kind of already was a mid-range, and they just gave him a more precise, a worser mid-range. It's not as shotgun-y as like this shotgun. Honestly, I think this shotgun's better, honestly. Maybe not. I could be wrong about that. Alright, well, the new exosuits, after trying them all, give a decent amount of, like, you know, things. I guess, what is the unlock requirements for these? Can we unlocked? Oh, so you have to get the suit to level the previous one. That's why I have my two mains unlocked already.
Race cars.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So that is kind of nice that it's just more progression to work towards. You hit 20 with this one, you get your you get your credits, and then you can move on to the alpha version, which is nice, a new way to play. Give it Roadblock 2. Are all of them have rewards like that? Krieger 2, yeah, okay. So, I don't know, it'd be nice to see if they add like a completely new exosuit to the game for later on. But honestly, it's good to see it getting support. The analysis map here, the story in this game is actually pretty solid. I don't know why it's playing something. I did not press the A button.
We can jump the carrier back to 2040 at any time.
Okay, Sandy. What are our chances against Leviathan and Durban?
Okay, I don't want spoilers. I've already seen all this. What's going on? Something about this update. I think I already saw this. I wasn't trying to watch any of that game. So there's all this stuff. You'll unlock these little teeny things, and then you'll click here, and it'll give a summary sometimes with new information. And then these red ones are just like basically to symbolize that you've, unlocked all the mini plot points here for, these questions they'll have here of who is this, what is this, and it all just plays out kind of organically as you play through Dino Survival. Like you play either PvP or PvP. If you want to level up faster, you play random. If you don't care, winning and losing doesn't really matter. You're still getting rewarded decently for losing. Winning just gets you slightly more XP. So it's not really that big of an issue. So it's something to jump in, kill some dinos, have some fun, maybe kill some players if you so feel so inclined to do so.
Drink.
I definitely recommend you try it out. Give the story a chance. Time shenanigans, but it's not told in a way that, unless you're skipping over everything, shouldn't lose you. And there's some pretty high points with some boss fights on the story. You'll jump into a multiplayer match thinking you're just gonna play a multiplayer match, and lo and behold, some characters from the story will jump in and either help you along, give you some info. They'll hack into your game's match and shit like that. It's pretty fun. All in all, this is at least as the game stands right now, like a month or so after launch. It is a solid gaming experience. I hope they add more to the story though. Maybe in database there can be an analysis map, and they can have like a different thing here, because this ends on like a little bit of a we did the thing. now there's something else that needs to be done, and it left on a cliffhanger kind of like that. So maybe next season there's a new analysis map, a new mystery or something. Maybe they don't do the analysis map, maybe they tell the story some other way. But it's very well integrated into the game. It's they're doing a better job than Apex at this moment, because Apex is not doing comics that unlock over time, and there's no story drip. This game has story drip built into the game, and I appreciate that, because both Apex and this game are multiplayer only, but Apex requires you to subscribe to their Twitters and you know, go places on the map that, unless you're looking at YouTube videos and stuff, generally don't. They did give away that free like little like weather update poster along with a charge rifle we work at the start of the season. And then there's always like story content in the loading screens, but my only problem with the loading screen stories is you can't enlarge them and you can't slowly scroll through the stories, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to read them. And so I haven't even bothered reading the little lore blips in the little loading screens, which is why I used to like them, but I haven't been bothering with them recently. So all in all, you have a pretty solid game. If you have Game Pass, it's worth playing. If they're charging like $60 for this game, I would say no, it's not worth it. Wait for it to go on sale. Just because, you know, there's some decent amount of content here, but it's also like very samey sometimes. Yeah, the game will, in fact, that's probably going to be the biggest gripe. You have to stick with it for a while, because the game gets harder as you progress the story, and if you're not, you know, if you're not putting a decent amount of games in to continue on the quest, the story, which will just, I think it's just like based on the amount of games you play. I'm not sure if you have to actually do the progress bar. You might have to actually look at the database from time to time. Like the game will get harder, you will get bigger variants. The reason why Savage Gauntlet is locked, it's a weekend event thing that's locked. You will not be able to do Savage Gauntlet, the hardest content, unless you beat the story, because they want to make sure you've done everything there is to do in the campaign. By the time you've completed the story, you would have had to pass several bosses that are actually fairly difficult and require a decent amount of teamwork. And honestly, the final boss felt like a Destiny raid, like OG Destiny raid, and it was really fun. Like I said, I think this game needs more bosses. It needs a way to fight the bosses more frequently than just random queuing and getting some guy who's at that point in the story, because that's another thing. Like, you queue up with a bunch of randoms, and one of those randoms hits that story point where they fight any one of the bosses. I'm not sure if it will automatically do whoever's farthest back in the story or not, because I'd be really curious to see like what happens if someone's on the last mission, and then they go to queue randomly for multiplayer, and then maybe someone else is on like the midpoint boss. Like, how does it determine that? But that's just me thinking about things. But so you will get a chance to fight these bosses over again, but it's kind of luck based, which is where I think Savage Gauntlet should let you fight the massive dinos over and over again, or be different variants of them. I mean, it can't be that hard to pick up some interesting dino designs. They already have like some of the Neosaurs in this game. They see there's like cryo Neosaurs that can freeze you, and those ones are, although I've only faced off against them like maybe once or twice, which is a little unfortunate, not gonna lie. They are, I wish they'd have a little bit more, not like a lot of status effect dinos. I don't want this to be a game where like your tank gets frozen and then suddenly you can't do anything. But, you know, there should be higher level of difficulties where you're able to just get stomped by the PvE. And there are sections of the game. There's one map in particular where, like, if you run ahead and try to snipe at the people doing PvP, like, all the dinos literally will chase you, and it's terrible. I think there should probably be some coding to prevent dinos from chasing players that just run ahead, but maybe that's just it's probably put in there so the entire team, except 3 people, don't just run off ahead. But on that same map where you get chased, it's like the city, one of the city maps. You also can't not have like pretty much your full squad at the tank anyways, or the little push objective, because the dinos in that area specifically are way harder. And I wish certain maps weren't easier than others, per se. I mean, that's not always the case. There's definitely harder variants of like the first city that you go to. You'll always be in that first like little city where shit went down, and that map always seems to have the baby objectives in it, and I'm not sure if that's just because, you know, like I said, like everything's based on how much people will play the game, and so maybe you're just random queuing, and it forces, and the game forces newer players to play on the easier maps, and that's why I get them so much, just because you get new people in your lobbies. And maybe they should look into that. Maybe they should need to try to more heavily skew matches to based on playtime, so you don't get someone who doesn't know that being the third sniper on the team, because they bought the sniper and they want to play the sniper, isn't a good thing. I don't know. Honestly, there isn't much of that either though. There's no like hard locking characters in this game. You can switch on the fly. It's another really good thing about this game. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about it. Not much else to say. If you're looking for good PvE content, because Overwatch 2 cut their this is yet another good PvE game. I can't wait until fucking Halo Infinite gets its forgeable AIs and firefight. I don't know what season the forgeable AIs coming, what season the firefight stuff is coming, but there's a bunch of like leaked PvE modes for fucking Halo Infinite. I cannot wait. But that's what I'll be playing instead of this. I mean, this was fun and I liked it, but you know, I'm not gonna keep Game Pass forever, and I'm not gonna buy this game because I've already spent enough time with it. I had my fun with it. It was a good story. So yeah, y'all have a nice day, and if you stayed this long, thank you. I appreciate it. See y'all around.